All right, Luis, let's take a look at your swim stroke. We've got two views here. The one up top here is the above water view, and down below the below water view. And we're going to look at you from the front first. First thing I notice from this distance is the lack of front quadrant swimming. And what I mean by that, this hand is all the way back by your side, and we'll be able to see this a little better from the side view. But this top hand, your recovery hand, is just entering the water, and this bottom hand, your pull hand, is all the way back by your side. What we'd like to see, if we take this somewhere in here, you've got a really wide recovery, which is somewhat typical of the better swimmers. A lot of them have that, which is okay. I really don't care what you do up here as long as everything down below is good. So your recovery hand is not far from entering the water. Somewhere in here maybe, right there maybe. I would like to see this bottom hand being held out, staying out here in this good forward position until your upper recovery hand gets to about there. Called front quadrant swimming, and it's definitely more efficient. Obviously you're doing a lot of good things because you do swim fairly fast, but we just right now want to start nitpicking on your stroke, and in order to enable you to make it a little better. Pretty good breath here. You lifted your head slightly, but that's not too bad. You definitely did not over-rotate. It's nice, sideways, looking pretty much horizontal over at the side of the pool. So you're not over-rotating that head, which is nice. You did lift just slightly. Slight crossover here. Look at your arm right now. It's pointing out in this direction. I'd like to see it pointing a little more in this direction. So if we go back a bit from this crossover, and you can see that really good underneath the water here, all the way across in the front. If we go back a little bit, and we look right here, actually maybe even a little further just so your arm's not in the way, we can see your body lined up very nicely this direction. As we go forward and that arm crosses over, what we see now is your body is a little more bent at the waist. And if we look at it from underneath the water, the camera's at a slightly weird angle, but basically your body line's somewhat in these two lines right here, and as you cross over, we can see that your upper body, because it's bent over this way, goes quite a bit outside here. So if we look back, there's your hips and your shoulder. If we go back before you crossed over, your shoulder's way over here. So your hips are in roughly the same spot, but your shoulder's way over here. So at this point, with the arm straight forward, you're presenting this frontal area right here. As soon as that arm crosses over, the shoulder comes all the way out to here. So you're presenting a much wider frontal area by about a quarter more than what you were before. And that's because this body is bent now somewhat. So by eliminating that crossover, which we see right here, you will correct that larger frontal area. So crossover and then holding that arm out there in front quadrant swimming. Two biggest things I see right here. Good job. We'll take a look at the side view. and you'll be able to see that front quadrant swimming a little bit better. Uh, that was a very nice entry. That entry not so good. So let's go back to, if we look at this entry right here, other than the really wide recovery, which, like I said, I'm okay as long as you do things good underwater. Who cares what the recovery does? Um, but if we watch this entry, the fingertips go in first, kind of followed by the wrist, the hand, the forearm, the elbow, and finally the shoulder. So that's exactly what we want to see happen. Ends up with a nice extended arm underneath the water here. Go back one more time. So fingertips, wrist, hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder. If we watch the right hand side, what it does, it's going to come around, same wide recovery, but instead of fingertips, hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, it's basically plop the entire arm into the water at once. Big splash, a lot of turbulence, and whenever you hang something out in front of your body like this, it causes your legs to drop a little, which is causing a lot of these bubbles back here. Your body goes a little bit out of balance. Your body makes up for that by pushing down with the hands and kicking with the feet. So if you can get this right arm to enter the water like your left arm did, that will be our goal. So two things. Oh, head slightly lifted, and I think right here you're getting near the edge, so you're lifting your head. But it was slightly lifted when you took a breath. Right arm entry into the water is incorrect. You're entering the entire arm into the water pretty much simultaneously, as opposed to piece by piece all the way up the arm like you did with your left arm. Let's take a look at your side view and wrap this up.